need to meet as often moving forward in the future. And so I did want to let everyone know today that we will not plan to have a meeting at least next week. I know Natasha is going to be out and unavailable, and so we will not have a webinar next Wednesday afternoon. But for now, with most of the topics being covered in previous webinars and everything you need to do, basically already explained in a lot of those, we may not need to meet as often. There are still a few things. I know that we're kind of wrapping up, but Natasha and I will discuss that, and we'll hopefully get back with you to kind of explain how we may adjust our schedule. But I did just want to give you a heads up that I've appreciated those of you who have stuck with us over the last 8 or 9 months while we've worked through FY18 and we've gotten most of the tools available in a way that are going to be useful. So today, though, I believe we don't have anything new, but we were going to open it up for questions. If people had any specific questions that they wanted Natasha to work through with them on the workNet maybe, and then if not, we will just wrap up for the day. And Natasha, too, if you want, no, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. If you wanted to unmute microphones too, so that if people had questions to ask, they could do that as well.
Yep, everyone is unmuted, so you're welcome to speak up and call in if you wanted to call in because you feel more comfortable doing that. Let me just put the phone number in the chat. Maybe if I can copy and paste right here.
And of course, if you have questions, you can type those into the chat as well. But I'm pretty pleased with the most part with the workNet tools that are available, and again, think they're going to be available for us here to get a good start. Did want to give people just a heads up again on things that you should already be aware of, but had sent out a performance report last week about this time last week, and it'll be due on July 30th, and it'll cover the period of performance from FY18. The financial reports, there's really nothing that changes of significance on the financial reports. We will have new reports in FY19 that are just updated with your new FY19 budgets that we are waiting to send out. Should have those out to you soon. Those, of course, aren't due until, like, you won't be able to report expenses for the month of July prior to August 15th, and so those, or I should clarify, you will be able to report for the month of July as of August 1st. They'll be due August 15th, and so, but you won't be able to report expenses for July until after July is over. So at the earliest, you would want to have those by August 1st, and we will have them to you by August 1st. However, just to give you a heads up too, how that will go. Your first payment, which will be your prospective payment that it consists of 3/12 or 1/4 of your total grant award, will be paid upfront regardless of your expenditure documentation form. So there's no, I guess there's no sense of urgency to get your expenditure documentation form in before the due date, because whether you send it on August 1st or on August 15th when it's due, it won't change when or how much you receive in that initial prospective payment. So just to kind of hopefully set your mind at ease a little bit about turning in those expenditure reports, but they will be due in the first 2 weeks of August there, and then we'll just submit those regularly monthly after that. So you'll have those, and then I think that's it as far as new reporting information. So looks like Cynthia maybe asking a question, and again, if anybody else has a question to ask, feel free. I will let people know too, as Cynthia's typing. She says, just wondering about the June 2018 reimbursement. It's been 3 weeks since I submitted ours. It is just taking some time, Cynthia. So one of the things that we're working through as we wrap up FY18 is that we're looking to make sure that all the year-to-date totals match, that anybody who has had revisions to previously submitted EDFs, that we've got all of those in, and I believe, Cynthia, that we've got all of yours in and that everything is consistent. It's just a matter of waiting until those get final processed. So they are on the way, but it does take a little bit. I'm optimistic. I know some providers have started to see theirs, and so I would expect that yours would be processed and sent to you. It'll be the remaining balance of anything that you've expended in FY18 that you've not been reimbursed for. It should be the remaining balance of that. And so if you receive a payment that is anything less than that amount, and this goes for anybody, definitely go ahead and check there. Cheryl asked, I think that's Cheryl Holman there, asked, have FY19 contracts been signed and filed with the comptroller? I know that many of them have, and so I believe that many of them went to the comptroller, I believe, last week, and then it's up to the comptroller to obligate those contracts, and they're kind of on their own time frame for doing so. So I believe that many of them have gone to the comptroller. I know several of our programs have had that happen. I don't know for sure in CYEP which ones have and haven't, but I know that many have, and I believe CYEP was among those that have. So we should be in fairly good shape on that. And the last word that I got from our payments unit regarding the prospective payments, and this was last week that I heard this, they said we should have those. We anticipate having those prospective payments to grantees within a couple weeks, is what they said. So I would guess that in mid to late August, you should have your first prospective payment for FY19. So about 1/4 of your grant award, rounded to the nearest $100, I believe. Any other questions related to the workNet at all? I know, again, probably most of you who have been here today have been fairly consistent with us, and so hopefully you're caught up. I know I've just gotten emails this afternoon about individuals still requesting access to the CYEP partner tools, and so again, if you need to do that for any new staff that you've got in FY19, please continue to do so. Also wanted to give you all a heads up that we are in the midst of trying to plan with Natasha maybe an intensive one-day training, probably in the Chicago area, for any new staff that maybe haven't been participating with us throughout the last year. For any new staff, we plan to have maybe a training day for like a CYEP 101 type training, and it will go over the workNet and how staff use it from beginning to end, so that if you do have new staff that need to be trained on the workNet for CYEP, we are working on doing that. I haven't got a date set yet, but we have got one. We're narrowing towards one, and so hope to have that out to you soon as well, so that you can plan to send staff who may need an update on CYEP for that. So, guys, I'll tell you what, I'll give this a kind of a last call for any questions. If you don't have any questions, we'll go ahead and wrap up. Looks like maybe Nancy might have a question. So we'll give it just a minute. Oh, just thank you. All right. Well, good afternoon then. I say we'll go ahead and conclude. Again, we will not have a webinar next Wednesday. However, we will plan to have a webinar the following Wednesday after that, so we won't meet on August 1st. However, we will plan to meet again at this time, 1:30 on August 8th. I'll have a couple of updates for you and a little more information, but that'll be it until the next time, okay?
Okay,
All
thank
right.
you, everyone.
Yep, good afternoon.